Today, we've got a big boy innovator. He's a genius. He's combined his degree and breakdancing skills to create the best recipe. He's a co-founder of Whoosh. He's the man of the moment. He's got big things coming his way. Let's welcome the sensational Torrell.
Thank you for that solid intro, bro. Appreciate that. For me, like, I've always wanted to be a big baller, you know. I wanted to build a business and make a lot of money and inspire. But yeah, with dancing, I felt like, you know what, I'm not gonna do that through dancing, and I don't want to do that through dancing. I want that to be my escape. I've always had an entrepreneurial mindset, and I've always wanted to try and build something. And I've tried all throughout uni, especially building different businesses. I tried 2 games companies. I tried a bike.
Right at uni.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I tried a bike clock. Had an idea for a bike clock. I didn't really go well because didn't really know much about electrical engineering, so that kind of failed. I tried YouTube. I made tons of videos, man, which really benefited like my business stuff, but I'll get back into that later on. But then, yeah, like this one, my business now was so organic. Like, it wasn't something like I was trying, hey, I'm going to make a business out of it.
Yeah.
So I started, I was on my placement year, and I worked at a company called SN Systems. They make like the development tools for PlayStation, you know?
Yeah.
And during that period, they tasked me with learning this language called Erlang, and it's a completely like abstract language I've never heard of or seen before. Really dope language, and I was like, cool. If I want to learn this language, how am I gonna like improve the fastest? And the best way to improve is just building something.
Yeah.
So at that time, there was the undisputed finals for b-boys, and this is like the elite of the elite break-in competitions. And at that competition, they had a electronic judging system. Traditionally, judges just use their hands, vote left, right, or, you know, tie. But this one, they had these devices and they press the buttons and it will show on the big screen. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty dope. Like, we've got the technology to do that on a smaller scale, so why not just make it for like your local jam? And I made a really, really crappy text-based version. You know, for guys who don't code, if you've seen a matrix, you know, the window with all the just text that come in, you know, flowing down. That's pretty much what it looked like. And it was simple as I type in, you know, I vote for X and, you know, X wins battle. And then I kind of parked it. I didn't really go further with it at all. That's when I went into my YouTube sort of phase and started making videos and stuff. And then I'd say fast forward a year and a half, I'm in the end of my 4th year. So I'm doing an integrated master's. So I've got another year after, which is my final. And I'm in Korea at the time. And I get an email from my supervisor saying, yo, I want to see a progression on your dissertation. And for our dissertation, we had to make a program, and present it to them when we come back over summer. And I was like, crap, I haven't done nothing. Completely forgot about it because I was saving money to go to Korea over the summer. And I was there for a month to just train and to like battle and stuff, you know? So I was just racking through my brain thinking about how am I going to finesse this, because I got uni in literally like a week, and I was like, there's no way I'm building something in a week. And then I remembered I had this project that I unfinished, you know? So I took it into uni, completely finessed it, man. I was like, oh yeah, working so hard over summer. I built this, I built that. This is how it works. I showed the demo and they were gassed. They were like, yo, this is cool. You can use that for your final project. So I was like, yo, wipe the sweat off my brow. We chilling. I'm going to go super hard with this now for the next few months. And then I leveled it up. I made a graphical interface for the front end. I made tablet support, and they connected over a network as well. And it could run, it could run a whole battle, a whole event from start to finish. So you have a top 16 bracket and put in the competitors, you will run them down to the finals. And I presented it at they had this competition called the Third World Jam in Manchester. And one of my boys who was running it, and he like had faith in me to run it for the kids battles. And it went really well. I got loads of positive feedback from everyone. It was really dope. And it came to me to hand in my dissertation and get my results, right? So I gave this my absolute all, you know, like I went so hard, and I was expecting a high first, and I got my result and it was a low 2-1, and I was so pissed off, man. And I went in to appeal, because the things they marked me down on, firstly, they didn't mention in the supervisor meetings that we had, they never mentioned any of these things. And secondly, I was marked down on things which other people didn't get marked down on, you know? And I went to them and I was just like, yo, what's going on here? And effectively, they just laughed in my face. You know, they didn't really take me seriously at all. and it just pissed me off more. So I went back home. I was living with one of my best friends at the time. He's a Cypriot guy, a dancer from Cyprus as well. And I just ran into him for time about it, and he was just it was more stoic in that sense. He was just like, what are you going to do about it? And I was like, well, I'm going to throw my own event with my own system, and I'm going to prove to these Donnies that like this is worth something, And that's what we did. So we ran into...
So before you even move on, I just want to speak to you about the challenges you face as well, because first of all, you said you tried to like do different businesses before, you tried to get into YouTube. I don't know how that went, but yeah, you just kept persisting in it. So what made you feel like you could eventually find something that would work?
Like, I don't know, I didn't really see them as I'm flopping or failing at stuff. I was just trying things, and it was just having that outcome independence, like I wasn't setting goals like, oh, in a year I have to make $1 million, because that's like, yo, that's stupid. I don't know what I'm doing. I understood the concept of mentors, and I was trying to be around high value people, guys who'd made a lot of money. Like, for example, when I was in Bristol, I would walk around like Clifton, the rich areas, and just if I see people with like mad cars and stuff, I'll just try and talk to them, like, oh, how do you do it? Like, what do you do? This, that, and the third. And I didn't really get anywhere with it, but I didn't care, because there were other areas of my life that I wanted to focus on, like my social skills, improving like my charisma and stuff like that. And I realized if I'm flopping with this, there's areas in my life which I'm lacking, So in that sense, when these things didn't work, they just didn't work, but I've got a backlog of skills which I'm accumulating from them. So from the...
And that's interesting, because it seems like you're not afraid to try new things or just develop yourself further. Because like you said that you even spoke to people that you didn't know as well, but you kind of just want to better yourself constantly in it. And so I found that very interesting. And so with the grade situation as well, like it sounds like you feel very hard done by as well. So
I was till this day, I look at it as like, you guys are just being, right, you did it that was purposeful,
But at the same time, it seemed that was needed to push you to do what you did next.
100%, man. That was just pure rage. I know people say don't do this for others, man, bun that, man. If you've got a strong enough why, and that why it doesn't have to be wholesome, it doesn't have to be, oh, I want to change the world or make everyone happy. I just want to prove to these, you know what I mean? It's one of them ones, and that fueled me. I'm well over it now, because Whoosh has got to a point which I didn't like at that moment. That's all I cared about, and 3 years later, where I'm at now with it, it's like, what the hell? Like, I didn't even think that. There wasn't even in my subconscious, my conscious mind, nothing about where I'd be now. But that started off with that, So whatever it takes to fuel you, just do it and push, because you never know where it can go, Yeah. So we put on the event, and the event was absolutely fire, man. It's called Break the System, and I will link my portfolio. I should link it after or something, because there's all this whole journey it's all documented. There's videos, there's photos of the events and information and stuff. So that event went really well, and after that event, I got contacted by a guy who ran the Kids Breaking League finals, and he was like, oh, I would like to use your system for the finals in October. I was like, okay, cool. I didn't charge him or anything. I just was like, I got feedback from the event, because it was a bit there was some hiccups with terms of the connection and stuff. So I made a new version. I got it, made a new version, and then I brought that to the event in October. But in addition to that, there was a Sheffield Hallam Enterprise Awards that were coming up, and I worked with the enterprise team a bit just to get a bit more business knowledge. And they said, hey, sign up for the awards. I signed up for it, which was a week before the event, and I ended up winning the Best Pitch award for that. Thank you. So yeah, I got that plaque, and I was like, all right, cool. Maybe there's something here. So I went to that event, and I ran the event. It was so smooth. Everything was just like a butter. I was super pleased and happy. At that time, it was funny, man. I was chugging along. I've got a big desktop. I was chugging on my big desktop in a suitcase, to bring it down to these events. It was proper ghetto setup. So then, that happened, and at that event, there was a guy from Birmingham who runs a big event called Great Mission. It's like one of the biggest events in the UK, and he was like, "Yo, I'd like to use your system for our event next year." And I was like, "Alright, there's something in this now. You know what I mean? This is more than just a little project." So at the same time, obviously, I graduated. I needed a full-time job, so I moved back to Sheffield and I started working full-time. But then I started working on the next version of the system once again, gutted it again, made loads of changes, added database and all sorts of other stuff. And then that was the 4th version of the system, brought that to that event, and also Break the System too. We ran the 2nd edition of our event, and then the next week we ran Break Mission, and that was like a phenomenal experience, man. Like that had international cats, like guys from Japan, USA, Mexico, whatever. Like it was a huge event. I've got videos, I can send you once again videos of the event running. And that was, for me, that big platform was like, there's a business in this, you know. And after that event, I decided, cool, I don't know nothing about business. I know about engineering, I can build stuff, but I don't know how to make money. So I decided to sign up for this accelerator that was going on in Sheffield called Y Accelerator. And it was a 12-week.
What's it called, sorry?
Y Accelerator. Once again, I can link all this stuff, yeah. And it's a 12-week business accelerator intensive thing where it's like every Monday, or I think it's every Monday, every week, there's like a 3-4 hour like seminar thing, and you go down to it and they just grill you and they teach you like this different concepts of running a business, from literally like the idea phase to like the monetizing to the business model, canvas and value proposition, everything, right? So we ran through all of that, and then at the end there's a pitch of your business, of your new business model, and you get to win like a cash prize and like a trophy and stuff, and ended up winning that as well. And that for me was like, all right, cool. That was really great. And I went back to the enterprise team. I was like, yo, are there any more of these accelerators? Because that's where I found the model for my business that I have now. But I wanted to refine it more. Do you know what I mean? I still felt a bit, I wasn't really ready. I didn't want to get cracking on the next version yet, because I still felt there's gaps missing. So then there was a Santander National Enterprise Awards, or no, was it the Emerging Entrepreneurs Competition? Sorry, and that was in 2020. So I signed up for it on a whim, because this was like.
Sorry, I was gonna say, with all these schemes going on as well, like how did you know about it? Like, was it through speaking to people?
Yeah, it was through the enterprise team. So like at your unis, whatever unis you go to, there's 9 times out of 10 there'll be an enterprise team, and they're just basically helping students start off businesses. And it's like, yo, when you're dashing $9,000 at uni, for people who say uni is expensive, it's expensive if you just go uni and go home. You know, then you're just like, kind of, what are you spending that money on? But if you realize the amount of resources they have, it's phenomenal. Like for me, this enterprise team is going on for time, and I didn't even know that until my final year with this business. And I was like, yo, what the hell? Like, they should have shouted about this a bit more. But the fact is that this stuff is there, you know. So they were like my home base, and they still are, you know. Anything, I still go to them, and they've got lifetime support as well. As long as you're an alumni, they'll still help you out and stuff, you know. So yeah, I spoke to them, I applied, and then they, you know, seconded my application to like say that, yo, we want this guy to represent Hallam. And I ended up getting on the cohort for the Santander Enterprise Award, sorry. And yeah, like this was a national competition now, so this was like different. The other ones were more local teams. This was like the country, you know. And sadly, this was happening when the pandemic happened, so it was all online, which is so whack, because it's supposed to be like I think it was in Leicester and London, and then the finals would have been at O2 Arena.
This was last year?
Yeah, this was last year, yeah. But we couldn't do that, so it's all online on Zoom. And yeah, like that was super intensive, and it was crazy just to see the level like of other guys who are in my position, but they're just in different levels of their businesses. Some of them are making bank, some of them are still in idea phases, and competing against them guys was just, it was neat, it was humbling, because I can't lie, I was getting gassed. Like I was getting awards and stuff, and I was like, yeah, obviously, I thought that was an easy dub, you know. I was like, let me just go in, and it was major money. It was like 30 grand cash prize if you win. So I was just there fantasizing about that piece. I was like, yo, if I get this and I can work full time for this amount of time, whatever. But during that period, funnily enough, this guy messaged me from Germany, and he was like, oh, I'm making this a judging system for the Olympics. So a little bit of like I'm going to branch off a tiny bit. Breaking just got accepted into the Olympics, and it was run at the 2018 Buenos Aires Youth Olympic Games. It was successful, and then they're going to run it for the 2024 Olympics, right? Yeah. So, but there's a big problem in the scene that there's no official judging system as of yet. So this guy messaged me saying that for his dissertation project, he's solving this issue. He does digital product design rather than like software engineering like me. And he just wanted to interview me because he found my portfolio online, right? So I had an interview with him, and I kind of just saw him as, I didn't think he was that serious. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, cool, whatever. You just ping me when you're done, and I'll check it out. So this was during the Santander thing, right? So midway through, he messaged me, says, "Oh, cool, I've done with my my dissertation, and because it's the pandemic, it's going to be online, so you could just join the live stream." And I watched his live stream, and fam, it freaking blew me away, man. I was like, what the hell? Before it even finished with the presentation, I messaged him saying, "Yo, we need to talk." And I got a meeting with him the next day, and I said, "Listen, man, we should definitely work together. Like, you combining your design with my software engineer, we can build like a really dope product." And like maybe like he waited like maybe a week or so to think about it, and then he jumped on it, right? So then I brought him on, I onboarded him, sent him the NDAs and stuff so he doesn't, leak all my information or try to like shag me or anything. And then we started to work together in the last part of the Santander competition. So we ran a crowdfunder campaign, and he just did all the branding stuff. He changed from, this was the old logo here. It's pretty yeah, it's pretty bad. I can't lie.
Right. Looks calm.
Yeah, but like we wanted to make it much more professional and stuff, and we have like branded colors and all that good stuff. So we helped with that, and then we got the crowdfunding campaign, and we ended up raising like just under $2,000, and then we were really, really pleased with it because it was like money raised from the community, and then we did I did the pitch as well. He also did the slides and stuff for the pitch, like super dope. I ended up getting to the semis, and I lost there, and like I can't lie, bro, I was vexed, like but then I realized that I've taken a lot more than this than 30 grand. I got a freaking business partner, man. I've been searching for one for time, but I've been very selective because I didn't feel like the people around me would have benefited the business in a way that I wanted, but this guy was perfect, So then
what's mad?
You go on?
It seems like you've had, I'm just focusing on 2 L's that you had, and it always provided you with an opportunity, innit? And so you getting that L in the semi-finals, you still gain something from it, innit? And so 100%. I just find that mad.
The thing is that I'd say about that, like, if you view L's as L's, then you're always gonna like be afraid to fail. But for me, I view the L's as opportunity to learn and to grow. And if you have that mindset, then you see opportunities out of it. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, I've taken even more L's, but like I don't even see them as L's. I won't even mention them because I've grabbed other opportunities out of it, because instead of focusing on, I flopped in this moment, it's like, all right, that didn't work out, but how about if I try this, or how about if I try that, And that having a healthy relationship with loss and failure, you don't really see it as that. And even if something catastrophic happens, you're kind of just like, well, I'm gonna do about it. There's no point, being a witch and sulking. Like you just be in the same position as you are, before. So, but yeah. So like after that, I hollered at him and I was like, cool, let's go I wanted to meet with him in Germany for a couple of weeks. Luckily, it was so hard as well, man, because of the pandemic. Everything was just in the air. Whether you can, you can't. Is it green list? Is it amber list? And all that shit. But then I managed to go over there, and we spent 2 weeks together, and we just planned out the MVP for this new version of the system, also signed a co-founder agreement, and worked out the equity split. And then then after that we registered as a limited company, and we just basically cracked on with the development of the system. So we've got other clients in other industries as well. We've got clients in bodybuilding too, and hip hop dancing and other things like that. So we're just going through and building it from the ground up, from that period. And it kind of brings us to where we are now. I'm not going to speak about like everything because I don't want to jinx things now, but like, really dope opportunities have come out of that, which could change the game, like take us to the next chapter in Woosh, So we're hoping that can go through. And that's where I'm at now.
That is mad. You're the guy, fam. You're the guy. Teach me. You can teach me still.
It's just belief, man. Like, really and truly, I just kind of had this. I have this idea of the ideal man that I want to be, and rather than trying to flex or pretend, like I'm not gonna like act as if I'll become and then I just will be, rather than pretend that I am something I'm not. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't care about getting the best like crib, or like I had the same car for like 7 years. This Ford Escort is old as me, bruv. It's a 22-year-old car, and I had it since it was my first car for 8 years. And people even was like, they even try to say, oh, I'm embarrassed getting a car, and I was like, well, you fucking walk, cause like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not embarrassed. It's my whip, you know. I had to like bring my speaker into my car to listen to music. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them ones, you know. But it's like for me, it's like I know who I want to be and where I want to be, and other people's views and thoughts on me, I just don't give a like, they bring no value into my life anyway, so why should I care about what them man think? And the people who do bring value into my life, like, I do care about what they think, obviously, but they understand where I'm coming from, what I'm doing, so they're not going to look down on me, you know, because I'm not wearing the nicest clothes right now, or I'm not driving the best car. Like, they see what I'm doing, you know, and they're proud of where I'm going. So it's more about like surrounding yourself with the right people, but like just believe in yourself and just be like dedicated to learning as well. Another thing that is important to me is reading. You know, I read so many books. I read a book a week. And I say like read, but I get audiobooks at the moment. So it's like instead of watching YouTube videos, I'll just be in the shower and I'll listen to it, or going for a walk, going for a run, or whatever. I'll go gym. And it's like the knowledge in there applies to my business, applies to my social skills, applies to game, from like chatting to girls and stuff. Like everything I'm trying to improve, everything that I'm good at in life was a skill that I've acquired. Like it's not, I'm not one of them talented people or whatever who just born with shit. Like no, I had to work for everything, and it's like it's so much more satisfying because I remember the times when I couldn't talk to people. Like a conversation like this would just be a bit of a myth.
Yeah.
You know?
Socials, where can we find you?
So my business is at Whoosh CMS. So like if you see my name down there, it's just at Whoosh CMS. That's the Whoosh Instagram. Torrell Premier is my personal Insta. It's pretty much where I'm at really. Torrell Premier on SoundCloud as well. I make mixes since the pandemic. I got music turntables, and I've been making like a mix a month for like the past 15 or so months. That's been a lot of fun.
You're doing everything, man.
I'm just trying to keep myself busy, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on though. Like I said, man, like you're a big boy and innovator, man. Like you're doing loads of things. I'm sure everyone's proud of you, especially your family.
Thank you.
Man, may more success come your way, and keep breaking new grounds. And
yes.
If there is any more, there's always gonna be L's in it, but always take your lessons from them, you're learning, and that's only just gonna propel you even further to your goal in it. So just keep staying in the right sort of frame of mind, and keep your tunnel vision, keep shining. You got this, man.
Come on, bro. And I want to say a big thank you to yourself for one, bringing me on this, and two, for doing this. You know, like this is what I'm talking about. You know, we're creating our own lanes, and we're providing our own platforms and uplifting each other. And these sorts of conversations here, I hope can inspire at least one person. You know, so shout out to you, Dan, bro. Like this is dope, and I wish you all the best. You know, all success in your channel, and I hope you grow to like crazy heights as well, bro.